sing, and draw some things. Art Squad. Stories told in drama shows. Art Squad. Come together, we're a team. Art Squad. We can get through anything. Art Squad, come join the Art Squad. We are the Art Squad. Let's go!
Hey, and welcome to the Art Squad. Today, we're going to be creating comics with Kean. So bring your pencils, paper, and imagination.
Hi there, I'm Kean Sue. I'm a cartoonist, and today I'm going to give you guys a few tips and tricks to making your own comics. Now, in the previous video, I had sort of started making my own comic starring my dog, Oliver, who's a waiter serving a cat in a restaurant. And so now we want to sort of show what that meal is, right? And I'm always going to be referring back to my story ideas that I've written down, right? So with these story ideas that I've already written, we've got Oliver working as a waiter, which we've shown. We've got the customer as a cat that we've shown. But now we've got these other 2 points in these with the story ideas where he's serving dog food that we want to show, and also maybe he eats the food right out from under the cat's nose. So these are the things that we're going to be drawing in our comic today. So in this case, we've got this big bone that I'm going to draw that's going to fill up almost the entire panel, and it's going to be sitting on the plate that Oliver is holding. So I'm going to draw the plate around it, which is just going to be like a simple oval, and I sort of want to show the dish that he's lifting up as well to reveal the bone underneath. So we just see the top part of that. We've got his hand holding the bottom of the plate, so he's just got a simple round circle for the palm of his hand and just a simple stick for his arm. And we all want to show the actual bowl being lifted up off of the plate. So I'm going to just draw a couple of action lines to sort of show it being lifted up. And now we want to show how delicious this bone is going to look. So I'm going to draw some stars and some sparkles around the bone just to show how delicious and yummy this bone might be. And I'm actually going to draw a few action lines as well, sort of on the edge of the panel, to really give you the sense that this bone is just glowing and super delicious. And so here we have the drawing of the bone being revealed to us and to the cat as well. And so now in this next panel, we want to show the cat's reaction, right? We want to really get a big, nice close-up on her face as she's reacting, because she's like, she can't eat this bone. This is ridiculous, right? So we want to actually have her say something to that effect as well. So we want to maybe say, "That's a bone. I can't eat that." And so, as I've mentioned before, I always write the text out first, and then I draw a word balloon around it so that I know exactly how much space I have to draw in this panel now. So I don't have that much space, but I want to get a real good close-up on the cat's face here. So I'm going to draw the cat's head really, really big in almost the entire panel here. So the cat's got just a simple rectangular head with some triangular ears. And I'm going to draw her eyes super big and super wide open because she's kind of mad but also confused at the same time. So I'm going to draw her eyes really, really big. She's got that little triangular nose. And I'm going to draw her mouth open really, really wide, right? Because she's kind of yelling at Oliver. So she's got this big round mouth. She's got a round tongue here. Little triangles for her teeth. And now, I'm just going to finish in the rest of the details. I'm going to draw her hands. She's sort of throwing up her hands in the air. She's so mad or confused. And she's got that napkin around her neck. And also now, I want to show that she's both angry and confused. And how do we do that with expressions? We can do that with her eyebrows, right? If we sort of have a combination of an angry eyebrow on one, and then with the other eyebrow having sort of a confused look, we can sort of communicate that she's both confused and angry. So I'm going to have one eyebrow of hers going sort of pointing up, and then the other one sort of straight down like an angry eyebrow. And so now we've got this look on her face that she's both angry and confused at the same time. That's happening right on her face here. And also, I kind of want to just draw the sweat beads, some sweat beads sort of shooting off of her head because she's so, her emotions right now are so intense that she's just like sweating. The sweat is shooting off of her. And I'm actually going to draw a couple more action lines around her because she's almost shouting what she's saying. So now we've got this really intense panel where she's mad and confused. And now we've got the last panel to wrap up our story, and we want to show Oliver eating the food. And so again, we want to sort of have the cat sort of responding to that. So we want to maybe have her say, are you eating my dinner? Are you eating my meal? So I'm going to write the text out first, I'm going to draw the word balloon around it, and then I'm also going to have Oliver sort of responding, and we'll maybe just have him say, well, you said you couldn't eat it, ... So we'll have him sort of trailing off as he's talking. So I'm going to draw that word balloon around him here. And so we've got the word balloons in the panel, and we're going to sort of draw in the last of these two characters, and they're going to have to be pretty small because there's not a lot of room. So I'm just going to draw sort of their heads sort of in the bottom of the panel, and I want to show Oliver here sort of proudly talking, but also his mouth is full with a bite from the bone. So he's got his cheeks sort of full, but his mouth is also kind of open as he's talking. And we'll draw some crumbs, just some round crumbs as he's spitting, as he's eating. Because when you try to talk with your mouth full, all sorts of stuff will sort of fall out as you're talking. And I also want to show, so I'm going to just draw in the rest of the cat's face here. And in the previous panel, we sort of showed her confused and angry, and in this case now she's just annoyed. She's just straight up angry. And so we're going to give her both angry eyebrows in this panel. And she's going to have her mouth open again. And we're going to draw the napkin around her neck. And and we can't forget the actual bone that Oliver. We're gonna actually have I'm gonna show Oliver still sort of holding it up high, but now there's like a bite out of one end. So there's only like there's a piece missing from the bone that he's already started to eat. And then we're gonna draw his hand holding it up in the air, and his arm. I'm drawing the tails for the word balloons, sort of pointing to the characters, and I think that's pretty much it, but maybe I want to sort of draw a couple more sweat beads over the cat's head and some more action lines just to show that she's kind of really mad. And that's I think a pretty good comic. We've got sort of the end of the story and a sort of a joke conclusion. So just to read you the story again, we've got, starting from the first panel here, bring me your finest meal. Certainly. Zip. Voila, our finest meal. And then the reveal of the delicious bone. That's a bone! I can't eat that! Are you eating my meal? Well, you said you couldn't eat it. And so that's it. We've got a whole comic. We've got a story from start to finish. So you can put all of these things into your comics and use those things to tell your story even better. I hope you guys have fun, and I hope you make your own comics and just tell your stories. Get your stories out there. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you in the next video.
Do you want to join the Art Squad? Be sure to follow and subscribe so you can see what the squad leaders have for you next.